Okay, a proposed change to a really well-known U.S. visa program is threatening to cause some serious waves in the tech world. It's all about the H-1B visa, and it boils down to one absolutely staggering number. So let's get into it. $100,000. Just let that sink in for a second. This single number popped up as a policy proposal, and it represents a massive, massive change in how the U.S. brings in skilled workers from around the world. And here's the real kicker. This isn't some one-time application fee. No, this is the proposed annual cost for a company in the U.S. to sponsor just one foreign worker on an H-1B visa. They'd have to pay it every single year. I mean, to put this in perspective, the old fee was somewhere in the ballpark of $2,000 to $5,000. The new proposal? $100,000. This isn't just a price hike. It completely rewrites the financial equation for hiring global talent. So you might be wondering, why is this causing such an uproar in one country specifically? Well, look at this. A whopping 71% of all H-1B visa holders are from India. So any change this big is going to hit India way, way harder than the rest of the world combined.
So, what on earth is the thinking behind such a dramatic move? Let's take a look at the official reasoning that was coming out of the Trump administration at the time.
Okay, so the main argument from President Trump himself was that this was about raising the bar. The idea was that this incredibly high fee would act as a filter, making sure that only, in their words, very highly skilled people who couldn't be easily replaced by American workers would get sponsored. And that idea was echoed by others in the White House. The staff secretary, Will Scharf, went so far as to call the H-1B program one of the most abused visa systems. He argued that this new fee would be a fix, a way to clean things up, raise standards, and stop what they saw as misuse. Now, as you can imagine, with such a huge potential impact, the reaction from India was immediate and very, very serious. This whole thing quickly became a major diplomatic issue. Just so we're all on the same page, let's do a quick refresher. The H-1B is the visa that lets American companies hire foreign workers for jobs that require specialized skills. You know, engineers, scientists, programmers. For a lot of tech companies, it's absolutely vital for bringing in top talent. Every year, there's a cap. Only 85,000 new H-1B visas are given out through a lottery system. And here's the key part. Applicants from India consistently grab about 3/4 of those coveted spots. So India's government immediately sounded the alarm. And they weren't just talking about business or economics. They pointed to these significant humanitarian consequences. Thinking of the thousands of Indian families who've built entire lives in the U.S. and were now facing this incredible uncertainty. India's approach here wasn't to start a fight. Instead, they really pushed for a conversation. They emphasized things like mutual interests, the strong connections between the people of both countries, and all the while, they started their own deep dive into what the full impact could be. Now, beyond the politics and the very real human stories, this proposal basically put the entire global tech industry on red alert. We're talking about massive financial implications, especially for India's incredibly powerful IT sector. You know the names. We're talking about huge companies like TCS, Infosys, and Wipro. A core part of their business model involves sending their expert employees to the U.S. to work on-site with American clients. And the H-1B visa, that's the engine that makes it all possible. NASSCOM, which is the main industry group for tech in India, pretty much laid out a doomsday scenario. They warned that this fee would totally disrupt projects, force companies to make really expensive changes, and might even cause jobs and whole projects to be pulled from the US and moved back to India. That affects everyone's ability to compete. So where are we now? Well, it's basically a standoff. You have this dramatic new policy on one side, the people whose lives are in the balance on the other, and the profits of a massive global industry hanging in between. And I have to say it again, this is not just some small rule change. The sheer size of this proposed $100,000 fee and how quickly it was introduced makes this one of the biggest, most sudden shifts in the entire history of the H-1B program. For the moment, things are still up in the air. The proposal is out there, the alarm bells have been rung, and now everyone, from government officials to tech executives, is waiting and pushing for more talks to figure out some kind of solution. And it really all boils down to one fundamental question, doesn't it? Is this $100,000 price tag a clever way to set a new, higher standard for highly skilled work, Or is it just a giant wall designed to keep global talent out? That's the question that everyone is still trying to answer.